Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, was one of the most powerful and influential pharaohs in ancient Egypt. He reigned for 66 years, from 1279 to 1213 BCE, and during his long rule, he made many religious and cultural changes that had a lasting impact on Egypt and its people. In this essay, we will explore some of the key religious and cultural changes that Ramses introduced to Egypt, and their significance. One of the most important religious changes that Ramses introduced was the promotion of the god Amun as the supreme deity of Egypt. Before Ramses, Amun was one of many gods worshipped by the Egyptians, but he was not considered the most important or powerful. However, Ramses was a devout follower of Amun, and he believed that Amun had helped him achieve his many military victories and building projects. As a result, he began to promote Amun as the most important god in Egypt, and he built many temples dedicated to Amun, including the famous Karnak temple complex in Thebes. Ramses also declared himself to be the son of Amun, which gave him additional religious authority and legitimacy. Another important religious change that Ramses introduced was the construction of many new temples and monuments throughout Egypt. Ramses was a prolific builder, and he used his many conquests and the wealth of Egypt to finance his ambitious building projects. These temples and monuments were not only impressive works of architecture, but they also served as symbols of Ramses' power and piety. Ramses believed that by building these temples, he was doing the work of the gods and securing his place in the afterlife. One of the most significant cultural changes that Ramses introduced was the use of propaganda and image-making to promote his reign and accomplishments. Ramses was a master of propaganda, and he used every opportunity to promote himself and his achievements. He commissioned many statues, reliefs, and paintings that depicted him as a strong and powerful ruler, a conqueror of foreign lands, and a pious follower of the gods. He also created many festivals and ceremonies that celebrated his reign and accomplishments, and he encouraged his subjects to participate in these events. Another cultural change that Ramses introduced was the establishment of a cult of personality around himself. Ramses was a charismatic and confident leader, and he used his personal charm and charisma to win the loyalty and affection of his subjects. He was also a great patron of the arts, and he supported many artists and writers who created works that celebrated his reign and accomplishments. As a result, he became a popular and beloved figure in Egyptian society, and his reign was seen as a golden age of prosperity and achievement. However, not all of Ramses' religious and cultural changes were positive or successful. One of his most controversial actions was the persecution of the so-called heretic pharaohs, such as Akhenaten and his family, who had introduced radical religious and cultural changes during their reigns. Ramses saw these pharaohs as a threat to the stability and tradition of Egypt, and he ordered their temples and monuments to be destroyed and their names and images erased from history. This brutal action was seen by many as a violation of the religious and cultural values of Egypt, and it created a lasting controversy that still resonates today. In conclusion, Ramses II was a powerful and influential pharaoh who made many important religious and cultural changes to Egypt. His promotion of Amun as the supreme god, his building of many impressive temples and monuments, and his use of propaganda and image-making to promote his reign and accomplishments, all had a lasting impact on Egyptian society and culture. However, his persecution of the heretic pharaohs and his controversial actions in erasing their legacy also serve as a reminder of the dangers of authoritarianism and the importance of preserving diversity and freedom of thought in any society. Overall, Ramses' religious and cultural changes represent a complex and fascinating chapter in the history of ancient Egypt, and they continue to inspire and challenge scholars and enthusiasts today.